Why are people defending Kanye by saying he's bipolar? Bipolar disorder doesn't make you racist. I have bipolar too. When I am having rapid cycling or mixed states, I start to think that my wife is my enemy. That she is gaslighting me. I think I should quit my job that I love, move into a van, and start a new life under an assumed name. I become obsessed with living on the coast of Maine. Never been there. I also hate everything that normally like hiking, camping, the outdoors. I suddenly think those things are boring and represent the end of any excitement in my life. I suddenly want to be in a big city, in the action, at concerts, sleeping with strangers. Even though I'm a complete introvert who moved from LA to Montana 14 years ago to escape the city, in favor of my interests. This is all to say, don't underestimate what this disease can do. Luckily, my confused, delusional states don't make me a bigot, but they definitely make me someone completely different than who I really am. Some people forget that mental illness, while not their fault, is their responsibility to manage. I know people who make excuses for every last unsavory thing they do because of their XYZ mental illness. The mania portion of bipolar disorder can honestly be pretty wild. I watched it manifest in my aunt and her daughter. But it's still their responsibility to manage their illness. It shouldn't be an excuse. It's an explanation, sure, but it shouldn't be an excuse. The manic portion of bipolar disorder makes you see connections and deep meanings and motives behind things that are unconnected coincidences, which is also a primary feature of conspiracy theories. People who persist in bipolar states for a long time without proper treatment and guidance can become very susceptible to conspiracy theories because they explain all those connections and meanings the bipolar person senses in everyday normal things. And in the US, many of the most popular conspiracy theories online that people can stumble into are right-wing conspiracies about Jews. What he has said and done is very consistent with someone who fell into these theories hard. And untreated extended manic episodes could contribute to that happening. Mental illness is an explanation, not an excuse. If he is acting this way because of his mental illness, it is his responsibility to get himself help. No justification. He's been outwardly right-wing for almost a decade as far as I've seen, and I don't think you can put that all on mental illness. Sure, when he goes on weird Twitter rants or whatnot, it's probably a manic episode. But he's had racist views pretty consistently for a while. Edit spelling. Man, there's a lot of misconception on bipolar. It's something I deal with, unfortunately. Here. So much so that I couldn't possibly get to it all. The only thing I can suggest is please don't assume you're an expert on this and can make definitive assessments on what does and doesn't happen with this diseases. Hell, I think we could all benefit from stopping to pretend we're experts on everything online. Geez. Have a little humility, for God's sake. When you follow or admire someone that turns out to be an asshole, it reflects on you. So trying to rationalize it with an excuse makes you feel better about yourself. He's known to go off of his bipolar meds. But he may have another issue that not been publicly disclosed, like malignant narcissism. Everyone with BPD is affected differently by it. It's not a defense. I think he's got far bigger issues than being bipolar, frankly. That's just a more socially palatable mental illness. Regardless, as someone who used to work in corrections and heard a lot of excuses, what we would generally say to such things is, that's a reason you do things. It isn't an excuse for it. No one can definitively say what a person says is a genuine reflection of their sober mindset or a reflection of their short-term emotional state. The truth is somewhere in this gray area between. A friend of mine works with homeless people who have mental health troubles. And it can be hard to answer the question, racist or mentally ill? Quote, well, I think it would probably be more a question of whether it's actually racist in his mind, and what causes someone to not think something is racist or has that intention. I haven't been following and don't know the specifics, but I just imagine it having something to do with a slip of foresight or knowing what is appropriate or not, or what may be misconstrued by others. Some things that people say, especially when they have these sorts of mental disorders, can be more complicated than surface level, or the thought process of these people are different. So their understanding and interpretation of what they say could be DFF errant. Another way of looking at it is that different people have different subjective thoughts and opinions about what is racist also. Again, I haven't really been following or know the specifics. This is just a general thoughtful comment. Remember that time Ambien made Roseanne Barr racist? Maybe it's that? He's prideful and has delusions of grandeur. I'd say that's his largest issue. He has a knack for trying to get attention through shock and controversy. To give him the attention that he is seeking would be an ego boost for him. Even if it was 100% because of bipolar, you shouldn't be downplaying it. Should be along the lines of it's horrible, we apologize and are looking at treatment options. Kanye is a narcissistic asshole, not meds that are going to fix that. Totally true. Well said. A person with a mental illness might act irrationally. Some mentally ill people create irrational excuses for their behavior, so as to justify their behavior, mostly to themselves. I have bipolar disorder and I am also Jewish, so I am not a fan of Kanye. However, bipolar mania can make you think and do some pretty crazy things. I thought Jesus was talking to me when I was manic, and when I was depressed I thought I was possessed by demons. I would have no problem believing bipolar can make you have delusions that lead to anti-Semitism. He needs to take his meds and take accountability for his actions. Because some people have invested so much into him as an artist that they will do insane mental gymnastics to defend him so they can save face.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.